Hey, man, we got a Curtis handheld here. We have an EasyGo TXT 48 volt. Comes with some already used pistachios. No, just joking, fellas.
Who's guilty?
Who's guilty? Look at that man and my man that got pistachios. And my man Bob, he works about 2 days a week, but when he's here, he works.
Get fired back next same day?
Yeah, fire him back, bring him back the next day later. But this time it was probably a couple days later. But I'm gonna show you how to use the handheld, man.
He promised tomorrow.
All right, on here you got system info. All that is just, let me click on it. Just tells you the model and serial number of the handheld itself, so it's pretty irrelevant. I think it's useless. It's about like useless knowledge. Parameters means the speed of the golf cart and the acceleration and the braking. This one here, you got to push the button through the floor here. Kind of working, man. There it goes. All right. Now here you got profile selection 5. It starts out at you got 1. Let me get it to work here. So we're going to go with parameters. All right, profile selection 5 is like freedom mode. In order to get to profile 5, you have to use the speed chip, which unlocks it. Then it changes from off to on here. Then profiles is just, you see here, airport 1 mode, airport 2 mode. These are different profiles, 1 through 5. When it goes, most of them come on 2, and they come programmed at 12.5, but that's 14.8. But normally they come programmed at 12.5 miles an hour. By the time you lift it up, you'll get about 16, 17 miles an hour. We put them on freedom mode, and you can see this one's already been turned up. 19.5 is the highest you can go. So we'll go to 19.5, and then acceleration is 1 through 4, actually 1 through 2. So we always put it on 2, the way you take off fast. And the braking selection means like how you want it to regen, so it slows down by itself. We always put that on 1, which is low as you can go. And then we're going to go to the monitor. This is like where you can actually watch the vehicle like you can on a car when you plug in the OBD22. That's a tongue twister there, but I'll say that real fast.
Okay.
All right, he said he can't, so we're gonna leave it like that. All right, here we're going with battery. Here we're going with vehicle. We ain't worried about battery. It just shows you the amp hours, like how many amp hours the car has on it. Because if it's at a golf course or something, they give you a 3 to 5 year warranty, but they specify the amount of amp hours you have on it. All right, so what we're going to do is go to vehicle, 0 miles an hour. It's got 6,947 hours. Excuse me, 6,947 miles, 945.9 hours. Then we're going to go to I/O, which means we're going to observe what the input and outputs of the controller are. So throttle 0, and the way to test this, you don't have to have the key on. So I'm gonna turn the key off. I'm gonna pop it in neutral.
Oh hell!
And you'll see here, you hit the gas, Bob. Don't floor it.
Okay.
But the father, let me show you this here. The father, he goes with the pedal. So now you're at 100. Back off a little bit. So you can see it go down a little bit. Hold it right there. All right, so right there's a 52%. So if you turn the key on a golf cart, or if you plug in the handheld, and you see that the throttle automatically shows 30%, with the pedal not even down, you probably have water in the floorboard where the ITS is, or it could be a bad ITS. All right. Now this here is made speed pulses. That's for your speed sensor. Whenever you're driving the cart, that's how many times the magnet actually goes around the speed sensor. So if you see it off and it never changes to on, that tells you that your speed sensor is not reading the magnet. Either faulty wiring or speed sensor. 99.9% of the time, speed sensor is bad. All right, then we're going to go to foot input. This means, what that mean, Bob?
Foot input?
Yep. All right, the foot input means a throttle switch in the floorboard. Under the floorboard there, you have a micro switch that clicks off and on. Now, you don't have to have the key on for this either. You can do it in neutral. Hit the gas, Bob. All right, hit the gas. So right there, you can tell the input's on. Let go. Now, what you want to do, if you look at it, I'm barely touching the gas. You can see I'm on before the throttle even goes up. If the throttle is over 20% at the time that it turns to on, which means the micro switch engaged, the car will shut down for high pedal disable and won't run. So you can adjust your throttle, but you can adjust the plunger in there that goes through the itch. All right, the next step is key input. What's that mean, Bob?
Put the key in?
That means you turn the key off or on.
Yeah.
All right, so right now we're off. Turn the key on, Bob. All right, you turn the key on, turn it off. All right, now the next one is forward or off. But back to the key input, if you turn the key on and it does not change from off to on, it's rare that a key switch goes bad. But I would just take it out and ohm it out or check voltage and see if it carries over. But normally it's a harness. In the harness, there is a connection where they connect 3 wires into one, and it normally corrodes. It's right there behind the passenger side tire. All right, Bob, now we got the forward inputs. What does that mean?
Forward?
Yep.
Put it in forward now.
There you go, put it in forward. Key off.
Yep.
All right, like I said, all these tests here can be done with the key off. That way you don't have to worry about trying to make a new door in your shop or running over your neighbor. Unless you want to, then feel free.
Hurt your knees.
That's not advice, man. I don't recommend nobody hurting nobody. I don't have to say that for YouTube censorship. But ignore that what I just said. It's like if you're going to court and the judge tells the people after they heard it to ignore it. That's what we just did here. All right, Bob, put it in, now we got reverse. What does that mean?
I'll put it in reverse.
Yep, all right, reverse, input on. I put it neutral.
Horn?
That horn worked. No, that didn't work with the horn. That is Bob laying his gut on it.
Yeah, big belly
Now
Bob.
the charger input, that means when he plugs the charger in, it shows on. Now, what that could easily tell you if the charger input, charger inhibit shows on, but the charger not not plugged in. That means you got a bad charging port. Right? Just don't have one because this is lithium, but it means you got a bad charger port. You could bypass that. You could bypass that wire. In my other video, it shows you how to bypass the charger side of the charger port. All right, let's see what we got next. Next, we got main contact driver. All right, and for this, you have to have the key on. And what that means, you got to put the key on, put it in forward, barely touch the gas,
Okay.
and the solenoid should click. Just barely hit the gas, barely touch, it clicks.
No, not early.
All right, hold it, just hold it there. All right, see on, hold it down, no more. There you go, now it shows on. Now, if it shows on and the car don't run, it's probably that's good, let go. It's probably a stuck solenoid, no good, so replace it. All right, next one is, that's it for that. Controller, it just tells you the profile and all the other BS that really you don't need. I mean, you could watch the armature current in this. If you have armature current, but you have no armature PWM, that means you probably got motor brushes stuck. If it shows armature current and don't show this armature PWM, then you got motor brushes bad. Fault counter just tells you how many times this code has occurred. Main welded means replace solenoid. HPD means the gas pedal is down before the key's on. Thermal cutback means the controller got hot and shut down instead of burning it up. Over voltage, you never see, but it means the batteries are too charged. And normally that and this means controller's bad. So if you get an over voltage and thermal cutback, replace controller. Throttle fault. Throttle fault is for your ITS and the floorboard, not for your micro switch. Let's see here. Main driver, if you see that, replace controller. You see this, replace controller. Replace solenoid. Replace speed sensor. Main driver on. Hit the gas and forward, barely touch it.
Key on?
Yep. Alright, that's good. That means in the controller, ignore that main coil open. That means solenoid. I lied to you. That means that the main driver on means that the main driver, which is a solenoid, is stuck. So you see 0, the coil is solenoid. Main dropout solenoid, motor stall. If you see that, that means your brushes are stuck. Main driver off. That's nothing. All right, now we're going to diagnostics. What I do, man, any car before we sell here, I always go to my fault history and delete these. That way, when the customer gets a golf cart, if they come back with a problem, you won't be chasing a pre-existing problem that was already there that you fixed. So always clear the history before you sell the cart. Programming, let's see what it means. This ain't been used so much, so I ain't working more times. Man.
Well, it's sad, busted up.
Here's why it's seen better days.
Look like it's from the 80s.
All right, but that one there won't even work. All right, man, but that, now this here, I like this here pretty cool, man. If you got one intermittent driving, you can take this, let me see here. Oh, there we go. All right, this here like a log. Let's see the log variable list. They should have like an enter button instead of damn up here. There you go. These are what I have on the log. Foot input, speed, throttle. This is what I have. And what that does is when you drive it, let me see here. Let me get back. So, man, this thing need a damn new one. All right, now this here when you drive it. And actually, man, instead of hitting enter here, you could just hit over to the right. And go there and go over to the right instead of fighting with this. So then you want to, here you go, plot. This is when you drive the cart, all these things will pop up here. Like what colors you have, you hit start. See, there you go. All these things will pop up. And you can see if you have one intermittent that drops out while you're driving, you'll see the difference there and you can pinpoint it. All right, man, well, that's it. Other than that, man, that's it, man. Stay tuned, man. We'll post some more bloggers. I'll leave you pistachios everywhere. But we'll get it, man. Stay tuned, fellas.